Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to Turn the Page. It's my second show within the next. They're back-to-back shows, and I'm so glad to have you guys here. And welcome back to Turn the Page. It's my second show within the next. I'm waiting. Ann's gonna make some adjustments on her end, so this is gonna be an exciting show for you guys tonight. So we're gonna be talking about the dirty deeds done dirt cheap. I think I just lost Ann, but she'll be back in a minute. In the meantime, let me just see who we have out here. I've got the same people that that was just with me with Mr. Trumptastic. It was a good show. And we're going to be bringing you a lot of more good, entertaining, and very, very interesting guests coming up. Stay tuned for a lot next week and also into the next 3 weeks of May. So I just want to say real quickly while we get Ann back here, I'm just going to remove her from this for a second. And hello, Irish girl. She's out and she's from Ohio. And let's see who else we have here. Of course, we always have Ronnie in the house. Thank you, Ronnie, for being here again. Yeah, so Ronnie is saying to everyone, smash the thumbs on your way in. Hit the like button. I do appreciate it. I am on Facebook. Anybody on Facebook? And I just seen Janice. Hello, Janice. How are you doing from Australia? She's on Facebook right now. So I'm going to wait for Ann to come back in again. I don't think she realized she accidentally knocked herself out. But we'll wait until she comes back in. And I just want to see how everyone is doing here for this Friday evening. So we're going to be talking about I called it the deeds, right? Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And from the information that I've actually heard about the deeds, and once you get the deed to your home, and Ann's going to go through all of those details. And let's see if I can find her. Ann, are you with me?
I'm here, but it seems like all my picture got knocked off and everything. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should sign off and sign back in.
It's up to you if you want to be seen and just heard. It's up to you. But if there's any technical difficulties, it may even
wait
be.
a second. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
There it goes. I got it.
All right. I did send something out to Gina was going to join us, and I'm not sure if she got confused on the time difference, but we'll see if she chimes in on here with us also. So, boy, how are you doing, Ann?
Oh, well, in the last 3 weeks, life has been so exciting. Seriously, I think I literally working with one person in Arizona, we are going to be taking down this mortgage fraud. Seriously, in Maricopa County in 2022, just in January, we have 250 foreclosures.
Wow.
250. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. These companies are filing between 15 to 30 foreclosures a day in Maricopa County, Arizona. It's crazy. And it's all fraud. And it's a handful of companies. I think there's 6 companies in total that are doing this.
Wow. Okay, yep. So let's get to the you're jumping right in. This is fantastic. So what
I'm just like so mind blown with all this, fraud and everything. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So okay, so we're being told that this is just a movie playing out, but while we are watching this movie, if you will, the gangstas are out there trying to do whatever they need to do to get money, right? And the minions are going to continue to keep kicking. So why don't you set the stage for where we're going to go with this? I kind of given them a little bit of an idea that we truly don't understand when we get the deed to our house, what happens and how it's never in our address. It's always in a GPS. Is that correct?
Well, actually, it's in a state identified tax ID coordinates. Because they use that coordinates to make you pay your property taxes.
Okay. So that everything that we were taught and told about the deed. So what I'm just going to let you start from the beginning and just explain to us. Do we need to protect ourselves? What is it that we need to get educated on?
We need to get educated on a lot. It all starts with the loan process and it moves from there. So I sent you an email last night,
Oh,
file that I put together for you to show on the show today that we can go over and talk about.
okay.
And it literally has documents in it. It has a lot of the fraud identified in it and everything else.
Okay. I didn't see that, but that doesn't mean anything because I get so many of them. So it went to turn the page. Is that right?
Yeah, I just sent it as an answer to the email that you sent us, for the show today.
Okay. All right. Let me take a look here. But you said it was last night, so this is, yeah, that would have been turn the page. I don't think I got it.
Gina saw it, and Gina answered back. It was
Oh,
on the invitation email for Gina and I.
okay. So I see Gina was asking for a quick call.
No, that's not the one.
All right, let me check
Right.
TTP. Let me check the other email address I have. In the meantime, while I'm digging for this to be able to bring, you have to have this information up first before we start talking about it.
Well, it would help so many people because it literally has the documents in there that I've highlighted and, identified in the documents where the fraud is. Let me try to I can try on to send it over to you on Telegram.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, why don't you do that? That might even be better. I got so in the last couple days, so many emails.
Okay, hang on. Let me move because I'm on
This
two
is why I
computers.
need an assistant.
I think I need a team on my side right at the moment. A team about 350 people. Seriously.
Yeah, I know you do. And I've had people contact me about certain things, and I try to send them over to you on Telegram. So in the meantime, I apologize, everybody, because I didn't know that this was coming. So let me check my Telegram. And
Hang on, I'm trying to do it right now.
okay.
Oh,
And
la, la.
you're gonna put it in the one where we have our chat, where we go back and forth, our personal one, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to say hi. I see people out there, B Tribe, Mary Jean G, Cindy Say, Cindy 737. How are you doing out there? And I'm also seeing some people out on Rumble here. Rumble, if you guys want to, whatever it is that you guys do, share, like, subscribe. I appreciate it. While we get to some of the details here, and I apologize about the delay. Let's see here.
Okay, it's loading. It's a little bit big, so it's got to take a second to load.
Okay. Yeah, I bet it is the information. So you were basically telling while it's loading, if you want to reiterate, I've got more people jumping in here on this.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
how this all started is I teach trust classes with Floyd on the Fearless Floyd show. And a lot of people have been arranging for me to do one-on-one consultations with them. And I did a whole bunch of videos, free videos on trust and how we're going to set up our trust and things like this. And I put out a lot of information inside the videos, and people contacted me about court cases, foreclosures, child custody, all kinds of things. And this one person I talked to in Arizona, we connected really well together. But I was involved in taking down the IRS in Virginia and also taking down a court in Texas at the same time he needed my help. So I sent him off to a friend of mine, and I told him, just go file a foreclosure and I'll be back. This is how crazy my life is.
Well, so I have the documents, just so you know. Go ahead.
Okay, so he went and got his foreclosure, and I literally in Virginia, where the IRS was coming after this guy for not filing his 1042 form. The trial was a sham. You know, a 8-day trial lasted 12 hours. A jury found him guilty of 6 felony charges in 30 minutes. And his sentencing date was in February, and this was back in December. So I said, okay, this is enough. So I did a whole package of papers. I sent it up to TIGA and a whole bunch of government agencies to investigate this court system and to investigate this fraud. And when his sentencing date came up in February, the judge reclused himself from the sentencing, and he postponed the sentencing. Okay, the sentencing has never happened. So, and then 2 days later, the judge resigned. And this was an Obama appointed judge. So it was hilarious. This judge just walked away from the court. I mean, I got him to walk away.
This is fantastic.
Yeah. And then the second one I did was in Texas. They arrested this guy and they never charged him. They never took a grand jury. They never did anything to this guy. But he was supposed to be on some sort of felony charges for mortgages and extortion for elder abuse and stuff like this. And the judge, I mean, he spent a year waiting for his first day in court. The first day he goes into court, this judge literally puts him in handcuffs and throws him in the holding cell in the back room because he didn't want to sign her paper for pro se. And it was ridiculous. And he said in the courtroom, Your Honor, I am not going to represent myself. I have my, Sixth Amendment right to find a counsel of my choosing to aid and abet me in this court hearing. And she goes, I don't want to hear that. You're in contempt of court. And so she threw him in this holding cell in the back room, and she literally told him, or the guards told him, if you don't sign this paper, we are literally going to put you in jail for 180 days. And the judge will up it 3 more times. So you will spend 2 years in jail for contempt of court. And I'm just like, oh, no, this is enough. This is racial discrimination. So I did the same thing to his case. And his next court date, he walked into the court, no name on the docket, no name in any court record. His name has been expunged from everything. He's free and clear.
Wow. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a good handle on this. So when they go to take the home, you have all the documents to protect them. Because we don't know what those documents are, and you have fought for him to keep his home. Is that correct?
Okay, so then I picked up the guy in Arizona, and we started looking into his case. And where you start to look is in your county recorder's office. And you start to see what documents are in your county recorder's office that deal with your home. So there's some states that are called judicial states. You'll see a mortgage contract. Non-judicial states, you'll see a deed of trust. So then you start pulling up these documents and you can download them for free. So basically, in his case, I found assignments, which assigns the loan from one company to another company. I found documents for substitute trustees. I found all kinds of stuff. So we downloaded all these documents. And then I saw 2 documents, one filed in 2019 and the next one filed in 2022 with the same guy's name on it. But the signatures were not even the same signature. Wow. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. If this is the case, what are these other documents? And so I started looking at the signatures and looking at who wrote every single document in his case. And I just went into Google, and it was pretty simple. I typed in the name like Jane, whoever, Jane, Jane Young, and say there was a company that wrote the document like M&T Bank. I would put in Jane Young, M&T Bank, and Google would just give me a ton of documents. And every document was filed in some other county recorder's office, and it had either a stamped signature that was exactly the same signature, or it had, scribbles or whatever on it. So now you start comparing all these signatures. There's the fraud. That's the beginning of the fraud in these foreclosure cases.
Oh.
But the way the fraud starts is even worse. Yeah. So digging through all of this stuff, I started to forensically audit myself, these documents. And then I started to see all this other stuff. So in the mortgage contract, when you guys go in and sign your mortgage, right at the top of the contract, you're going to see something right at the top. It's called MIN. And then it'll have an 18-digit number on it. Nobody wonders what that number is. Nobody even thinks about that number. And then either the first or second paragraph of your contract, whether it's a deed of trust or a mortgage, it will say that you are nominating MERS, MERS, as the nominee for your trust or for the contract. And that means you are giving MERS your contract, and MERS will be able to assign the contract. And it says that MERS is the trustee and the beneficiary, which it can't be. So there's the fraud right there in that, paragraph. Well, MIN is created through the MERS system before you even have your loan. They have that on the contract already. So I started reading the MERS database, not database, but, procedure manual. And it said that loan officers are supposed to do a pre-registration of the loan before they create the document. Well, it goes deeper than that because they don't do that. And then in the manual, it literally says that you and the lender have to agree with assigning MERS. Otherwise, it cannot be assigned. You're never given that option in those documents. They never tell you what that is, and nobody ever asks. So here's how it gets there.
Well, there's so many documents that they throw in front of you. These, I came from Illinois, and we always had a real estate lawyer to protect us. It's an extra $500-$600 out of your pocket for the lawyer to understand what is going on. And sometimes he'll just say, this is what this document means. And they just throw in these papers in front of you because they're this thick.
I'll tell you one thing, that lawyer is not going to protect you because he's involved in it. He is totally involved in it.
So let me just, I don't know if you want to take questions at the end, if that's better for you. There's people that are asking questions out. We're on Rumble too and on Facebook. Somebody's house is being auctioned, and we'll get into those type of questions also.
Oh, well, you know what? Let's go through the documents first, and then we'll take questions, because I think these documents are going to give you guys the answers.
Okay.
To a lot of your questions.
All right.
Okay. So this is how it happens. These is in the contract. These different points I pointed out yesterday are different points of the contract and what's happening inside the contract. When you're first signing your loan contract and what the loan contract is. And these points that I'm showing you are explaining to you what happens. So number one, there is an MIN number on, all the documents I've looked at since 2005 have that MIN number on it. This has been going on for quite some time. This is what was the beginning of the crash of 2008. Wow. And they all say that it stopped, but it never did stop. Mm-hmm. And when Trump gave the forgiveness for the 1 year or a year and a half of not paying your, home loans, or your rent, uh, it was supposed to be a forgiveness forever. Well, when Biden came in, Biden says no, and so these banks went haywire, and they started sending out all these documents. Well, you didn't pay your mortgage for a year, so guess what? You owe us $20,000. Well, these people were out of work the whole year. They were living on what? Uh, Unemployment. Some of them were
If
living
they
on,
got it, not all of them got it either.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
they
some
were
of
they
them were
were
living on social services,
Mhm.
getting food stamps. So
Mhm.
where the hell are they going to come up with this money? And a lot of them, when the economy, or they opened up everything, still couldn't go back to work because they were forcing people to get some sort of a you know some sort of a jab, and nobody wants to do that because they were smart.
Mhm.
And so basically, these banks and companies started taking advantage of it. And they started filing and manipulating these databases through mayors and through all county recorders' offices. And they started filing all these fraudulent documents in the county recorder's office. And then all of a sudden, everybody's in court for foreclosures, and your house is going to be auctioned off. Or, they put these notices in newspapers in non judicial states, claiming foreclosure and everything else. And it's ridiculous. So this is, really bad. But we can stop all of this. And identifying the fraud is what we have to really honestly understand how to do. So basically, I'm not being able to read this because it's really small, on my screen. I haven't,
I can read it.
yeah, because I didn't pull up my other screen with the document on it, but
Yeah,
I
that
just have this
it's
little tiny screen here, on the browser. So it's
yeah.
kind of hard to see your screen.
Oh, I hope that's not for everybody. I'm just wondering if I should do this a little bit differently. So, the first one is it's important to understand why the mortgage electronic registration system, hereinafter referred to as the MERS, MERS, plays such an important part in this scheme. The inception of MERS began in 1995. The first corporate version of MERS began in 1995 and ended in 1998, which you just said. So the second corporation version, so they came out with another one in the late 1980s, in the current version of it, which spun out of the second one. Geez. The merged entity into the Mortgage Electronic Registration System, also known as MERS Corp, occurred in January 1 of 1999. It's interesting. So they put this in place, and then 2008, right? I'm sure you're going to get to 2008. Do you want me to go
Well,
through?
yeah.
You want
I
me to
mean,
continue reading?
Yeah, seriously. This is where, well, in the beginning, they really didn't have that many people signing up for the system. So, what comes next is this next point.
Yeah,
How do
so
they get
so
people to,
so the
to
further
buy into the
ambition
system?
of using the MERS for tracking transfer of mortgage loans on Wall Street, Moody Investor Services, also suspected of their role in the false rating AAA bonds, relied upon the investors who bought them and asked for a rate review the issue to report on MERS and MERS Corp for investment purposes. Probably at the request of the founders of these two entities, Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac, and the Mortgage Bankers Association, the American Land Title Association, and most of the major banks to entice participation in the scheme. In 1999, I do recall, is that when they dropped the rates extremely cheap at that time?
Yep.
So today, when you walk in to sign your mortgage or deed of trust, the document contains an MIN number that is pre-assigned to your contract, and a clause in the contract stating that you are giving MERS permission to be a nominee on the mortgage or the deed of the trust. This MERS is an act of an assistance on the mortgage and sells the mortgage to another company. Okay, I've always was told this, that if you guys recall, when you go to get your mortgage, it may not be who you're signing up with, and they're going to sell it to others. We were told this back in the 90s, and I would say, well, what does that mean? So I'm thinking my mortgage is going to be local, where in other places it was sent all over the all over. Right, that's what they were doing. Why we got this 2008 crash, right? And they
Oh,
bundle them
yeah.
all up.
Well, that's called securitization. They securitize all the loans. So the reason they're putting them in mirrors to begin with is because mirrors pulls them out. So like if in one day or in a 3-month period, there's 5,000 or 6,000 loans that get assigned to mayors. Mayors will bundle that loan all up into one big bundle, and then they'll securitize it. And then they'll send it out, and they will create bonds and notes on these securities. And then they sell the securities worldwide. And the reason they do that is because it would take them 20 years to return their money on the investment. This way, within 3 years, they can gain all the money back on the investment plus all the interest they would charge you on the loan. And then they can turn around and securitize it again. So the bonds are sold on the open market.
So my question here at this point in your information is, if this is the way that this is, is there a way to get around this? This would not affect somebody who paid for their house cash, because I don't think that there's a
No,
mirrors, only
no.
mortgages.
Mortgages and deeds of trust.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'll show you in the next, I'll show you in the, I took a mortgage contract, and, a standardized mortgage contract that is being signed. And I just, like cut off a lot of the pages and stuff, but I just showed you in the pages, certain highlights and certain red arrows and things like this, what we need to look at when we're signing contracts.
Okay, so if I can finish reading this, page 3, it says that they're falsely advertised to the public as a legal system used to file necessary documents, which you just explained why. Take a look at a typical mortgage contract, which you have in here. You just mentioned that. And then in the manual from the MERS, it states that the lender and the borrower must agree to have MERS as the nominee on the loans. This is such bullshit. I don't think I've ever seen this verbiage whenever I did a loan. So let's see here. The major problem is that the lender has never disclosed this to us before signing the contract. All right. So this is a lender's fraud, obviously. With respect to transfer involving MERS, the lender did not properly follow the rules governing a transfer. Okay, so this is the loophole that I believe Ann is talking about, that she was able to find that transfers a secured interest of the real property. It did not inform the borrower before signing the mortgage contract, securing the note, and the results. So action taken by the lender and the agent were improper and in many cases illegal, and the assigners were damaged. So this is where you found out that they were lying and they withheld the information, and it won't stand in the courts.
Correct. But see, people are fighting the courts the wrong way. I've got to teach you guys how to fight the courts, because everybody's just going in and saying, I want to see my note. Well, that's not going to work, guys. We got to do it another way. But I've got all that in these documents. You guys are going to see those.
Okay. So do you want me to finish? Do you want me to read all the points or go ahead?
No, we can just, I think people have got the complete idea. Okay, here's the mayor's contract. Okay, this is a typical mortgage contract. So if you go down just a little bit more, you're going to see my first little red arrow. And I have my note over there. And what does it say?
It says MERS is automatically assigned to the mortgage contract when they are created. And it is a large number here. It's a long number.
18 digits. And you know what? In the MERS manual, I was saying, how did they create these digits? Well, in the MERS manual, they give you some long blah, 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 creation saying, for a simple fact that the lender has a lender's number, and that's such and such. And then you have another number, and then the lender can create 8 digits. That is not true. That's a bunch of garbage, because they do publicize the mayor's database, manual that you can download. And so much of the information in that manual is to, suffice the public into thinking that, oh, we're a wonderful company. So seriously.
Yeah. So
So
what you guys highlighted here is you've got a red bar going who the borrower
yeah,
is.
I don't want you guys to see the contract, because
Gotcha.
this one wasn't one I just downloaded, nefariously off of the internet. This is one that belongs to one of my customers.
So your second arrow is stating that this is MIRS, which is a mortgage electronic registration system. They're spelling it out. They're telling you here, aren't they?
Exactly.
And so it's a separate corporation, is acting solely as a nominee for the lender and successors that are signed. So under the security instrument, what is the MIRS is a mortgage under, what does security instrument mean?
Security instrument is that document right there.
Okay. It is organized and existing under the laws of Delaware or whatever state that this might be in, and an address and a telephone number, and it's got a P.O. box. Okay. And it says the statement is where the fraud is. This is not the true contract.
Nope. Section 2 will show us how we're going to get to the true contract. Okay. So then you have to understand what note means and what it's saying about the note. I didn't put any, comments in it. I'm just, pointing out certain areas in these contracts. You guys have to be really, reading, because this is the one thing that they never let us do when signing a contract is read the damn contract. You bring a lawyer in, a lawyer knows these contracts inside and out. They know the fraud already inside the contract. They know how to, get around it and how to prosecute against it, prosecute you against that contract. So having a lawyer with you signing these contracts is not going to really protect you whatsoever. You understanding how these contracts work and what's written in them, and, literally pointing them out to the agent you're signing the document with, and literally crossing these points out of your contract to void them out and not initialize the pages that these fraud is on. That's up to you guys to do this. It's up to you to point this out to these people who wrote these contracts, saying, oh, no, who is mayors? Who are they? And why are they in my contract? And why am I giving my contract to them? Are you not supposed to be my lender? Are you not supposed to be the one that I'm supposed to be paying? Now, who are these people? You're bringing a third party in.
Yeah, and so you'll have a lawyer. Oh, don't worry about that, because they really know that you want the loan and you want the house, right? So they will. I guess the best thing to do is, you're saying, to question all of this, and if they can't get a straight answer, you're not satisfied with it, walk away from the deal. Is that what you're saying?
Well, basically, I will be honest with you. I think I was 26, and a friend and I were going to buy a house together, and we walked into the closing, and the guy started explaining stuff, and I'm going, whoa, stop, wait a second. I'm 26 years old. I had no idea what any of this stuff was, okay? And I said to him, well, wait a second. We're supposed to be on a fixed rate, and our loan payment is supposed to be the same every single month, and it's never supposed to change. Well, no, you have a what I forget what it's called.
Adjustable rate mortgage?
Yeah, that's it. Adjustable rate mortgage. And I said, well, I don't want it. I don't want it. And he's going, what do you mean you don't want it? I said, you can keep the damn house. I don't give a damn. Yeah. I don't need it, and I said, and I'm not going to pay extra money to you every single month. And then on top of it, you want me to give you some association fees, to live in that house. I said, that wasn't part of the contract. That wasn't part of the deal,
Yeah.
when I wanted it, and then I said, and now I'm supposed to pay you my insurance or give you the money for the insurance, and you're going to keep my money and then pay my insurance for me? Am I not old enough to pay my own insurance or to choose my own insurance carrier? And then
Yeah.
I was just ripping him apart. And I'm only 26 years old, right?
I learned very early on from my parents that you pay your own insurance. You never roll it into the mortgage. That's just another way the insurance companies can take advantage of you because it's always reoccurring. And if they want to do whatever they want to do, but no, you pay your own insurance on your house out of your
And
own
not
pocket.
only that, but they wanted us to give them extra money for the taxes.
Yeah.
So we had like, when we started off, we had a mortgage of like $950 a month. Next thing, it's up to $1,700 a month. And I'm like, what? You doubled my mortgage? Well, it's not only your mortgage, it's your, association dues, it's your, insurance, it's your taxes, it's our handling fees. I said, well, guess what? You can keep it all. I don't want it. And I stood up and walked out of the signing. The person I was with flipped out, and they're yelling at me. And what the hell is wrong with you? And I said, because I have a brain and I
Yeah.
understand mathematics and I understand what a ripoff that is. There's something wrong with me? I don't think so. And I said, I don't want the damn house. And I said, that contract is a piece of crap. And I can't even read it because they won't allow me to read it. And so I walked out. The guy kept calling us and calling us and calling us and calling us to come and sign the contract. I said, rewrite the contract, take all that crap out of the contract, take all this adjustable rate out of the contract, give me one fixed line, and I'll sign your contract.
Did he do it?
Yep.
Good. Wow. See, most people are, we've been taught early on just to kind of go with what authority says, right? We have to follow authority. And now we know that if something is not aligned with you and you're smart enough, like you said, you were smart in math, everybody else is out there. If it's not sitting right with you, question the hell out of it and get up and walk away. They're not going to walk away from the deal. Like Ann just said, they kept calling her to get back in there. And she said, here are my terms. Now you play my game. And they did.
Well,
right.
It's just, I learned once I got totally screwed on a car I bought from a car dealer. And it was like my first experience with a car dealer and these contracts. Well, I went and turned the car back in 2 years later. And then they tried to do it a second time to me. I'm sitting here, once is enough. Shame on me. I never had an idea what was going on. So basically, I wanted this really nice, Toyota, brand new truck, extra cab, all the, what do you call them? Whistles and,
bells and whistles.
Bells and whistles and everything, And the guy is going to sell it to me 6 years at like $500 and some odd a month. And I just told him 6 years at $500 a month. That's that's this many payments at this much money, which makes the truck cost this. And he's looking at me. Really? It does it? With his calculator. And I'm like, guess what? I can buy 3 trucks for that amount of money. I don't want your damn truck, So literally, I got him down to $220 a month, $220 a month for 4 years, 48 months. And I walked out of there with a brand new truck.
Yeah, nothing changed. The truck stayed the same. The contract, the agreement between the two parties changed. I'm telling you, this is what we have to do. We have all been taken on cars. So let's jump back to the fraud for the loan to buy a home. And so there's a lot of pages in here. So do you want me
most of it is like, examples, there's a lot of examples. See, like you're going to get into this contract. This is where the fraud comes in. Okay, so basically, what starts the fraud in every single contract is when you fill out that form right there. It's called a 1003. It's a form to get a loan on your home. It's the form.
So, Anne, I want to kindly interrupt you. So, you are showing us a paper document, and I just bought a house. Everything is done through portals. And I think somebody else earlier in the chat here said that they were being asked to go in and do something and sign up on the portal. And so you agree, it says in there, you agree to use this portal, you agree to do this, these forms like that we're seeing here on the screen, a lot of them
Okay,
don't
I
even.
downloaded the forms because I think all forms are now in the electronic system or the portal system that
Okay.
you fill out online. But the whole thing is, you guys need to stop doing that because you don't have much choices. Do you see over here on the right-hand side of the document where it asks you if you're a U.S. citizen, an alien, or non-alien? You know, you don't need to mark that stuff, guys. It's none of their damn business.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
and you
and
go
now
down this.
they've got on there what gender that you
Oh,
are,
well, wait, it's still in this contract.
what
As you
pronoun.
go down here, look, it's asking you all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is a typical contract. All right.
This
And
is
it's asking you ethics, gender, this, that, or something else. Stop right there. Now, look at that top part. It will never list what a buyer is or borrower is. It only tells you what the lender is. It will never on this contract tell you what a borrower is. That's the key to the fraud because the borrower is not is okay, how do I explain this? It's reversed, it's mirrored image, okay?
Mhm.
So when you think you're a borrower, you're not. What they're doing is the lender is borrowing your home to securitize it to make money and to get a line of credit for themselves. That's what it is.
Woo! I'm telling you, it's just like now they, with our banks, there we are. There, how do they say this? We are not. We are the. Is it the creditor or the borrower? It's reversed, because they take our money and then charge us interest on our money that we're putting in, or I don't remember how it is. X22 just did a report on this. If you guys want to hear it, it was yesterday, explaining to us that it's a mirror image, just like Ann is saying, with our money in the banks, and we have to get educated on this. So we have to know what dirty deeds that they are doing in with our mortgages, with our banking, and so that we don't get caught up in it moving forward. Go ahead, Ann.
So basically, in this contract, once you sign this contract, whether you do it electrically online or you fill it out, I would rather fill it out so that I could be able to read every single line of it, highlight all these areas, decide what I want to fill in and what I don't. Because on the electronic system, you're obligated to fill in every single thing they ask. Now, here's the kill. Here's the catcher. Look at what they're putting in this area. Look at what I've highlighted. This
So
is
this is the definition
insanity.
of a lender, and
Uh-huh.
it basically says that it includes the agent, service provider, and any successor that is assigned to it. So basically, you are acknowledging and agreeing to have others participate in this loan. So it says it's an actual potential owner of the loan resulting from the application of the loan. It acquires of any beneficial or any other interest of the loan. What a play on words. Any mortgage insurer, what is it? I can't say that word, grantor, a service of the loan. Oh,
Grantor.
okay. In any of these parties, service providers, successors, or assigned, they're covering their ass and letting you know that anybody can be a part of this loan. Is that correct, Ann?
Well, yeah. And then if you read it really closely and you take out the garbaged words inside of it, what it actually is saying is you're the lender. You are. You are
Oh,
lending them your home. to use.
See, I didn't get that. It says the lender includes the lender agents, service providers, and any other successors and assigned. So it must be on the second part here where I agree in this application if delivered and transmitted to the lenders or other loan participants of this electronic record in my electronic signature and will be effective and enforceable as a paper application signing. Okay, that's just saying that you're agreeing to do this electronically and
Right. But you agree to give to the lender because the lender needs a line of credit. This application is so the lender can get a line of credit from you and that property you're sitting in.
whoa. And then it goes on to talk about the property security. So the loan hasn't been applied, so on and so forth. It says it's secured by a mortgage or a deed or of trust, which provides the lenders a security interest in the property described in the application. Okay.
Okay. So this is your typical contract, but look down here. Look at all the places after you sign this thing that these people can come in behind your back and fill all this stuff out. You've already signed everything ahead of time. You know, you guys, this is crazy. You never sign a contract until they complete it. That's your mistake.
Oh, they're asking you to do it. Okay. Okay. Light bulb number 2 went on. You're filling out the application, which is an actual contract for you agreeing that you're going to lend them the money or whatever this is.
You're gonna agree to lend your property to them because in this contract, you're homeowner. You're not borrower.
So if
There
I
is no
don't
such
sign
thing.
this, I don't get a house.
No, this is your application to get the home. Okay? These are loan applications.
But
Look at
am I
all
missing?
the things.
Go
Look
ahead.
at everything in this loan application after your signature up above what they get to do. So you sign right there on that page. Then everything from that signature down is theirs. Look at all the things they do after you sign it.
Well, here it's talking about your race, your and then it goes on to say that to be completed by a financial institution, you're agreeing. It's talking about your race, your sex, and
Yeah. Why do they need to know that? Why do they need to know that?
I have no idea. I
Yeah.
never knew of that. It's just like, are you married or single? What difference does it make? I'm qualified for whatever it is. Why do they ask that, Ann? Do you know?
They ask it because it's the way that they stereotype people now.
Okay.
So you sit there and you fill out all this stuff and you're allowing yourself to be stereotyped. You see what I do in this mess is I just write across all of it. I am a person. Who are you? Or what does it matter? What does it matter what my color is? What does it matter what my ethical background is? What does it matter what my race is? Is that going to stop me from, paying your payment? No,
Well,
it's not.
that's the same thing when you go into a doctor or even get you go into a doctor's office. They ask you, it's consistent with all the bullshit across the board. Man, woman. What is your sex? What is your color, your race, all that stuff. So,
well, you know what? I'm going to tell everybody, and you know what you should write on the contract? Remove my skin, remove my hair, and what's on my inside is the same as yours. We are all the same. We all have the same blood flowing through our veins. We all have a heart. We all have lungs. We all have kidneys. We all have stomachs. We all have digestive systems. We are no different from one another. We are all the same race. There is no difference. It's just some of us have different colors. What is wrong with that?
Yeah, and so it's basically you're making a statement to them when you don't comply by to answering their silly ass questions. They're using it for marketing or for whatever nefarious things that they
They're
have to do it.
using it. They're using it so that on the quackavision, the quacky lies on the television, they can, use it against you. Oh, they're white supremacy, white this, white that, Oh, we had, 90% of the contracts filled out this month white, so we are discriminating against the black, the Asians, the Puerto Ricans, whatever. And that is so crap. That is so crap.
Okay, so let's jump back into this. And after signing your document, the lender fails to tell you what they're going to do next.
Uh-huh. You might want to read this one. This one's pretty funny. Or
Okay,
a couple of them.
yeah, I'll start out talking about the MERS and the electronic tracking agreement warehouse lender. So it's a contract and it's bound to the MERS Corp. So again, she explains the MERS and the MERS Corp, they're all in bed together, the holding company. This agreement has never been disclosed to the public, only to the user of the MERS system. It's kind of like the voting electronic system. They're gathering all this data for whatever nefarious things that they want to do, but nobody else knows. I think at some point they do something with this, but the word borrower is noted in the mortgage loan or the deed of the trust appears to be given only in common meaning. The average person would see the term and believe that what the mortgage or the deed of the trust state is that the borrower is the party of the parties and the borrower is the actual fund by signing a promissory note and the mortgage or deed or the trust to secure the home and collateral for the note. This is only a scenario that the courts are apparently taking notice of. So, according to what appears on this form, there are two distinct definitions of the party or parties involved in the participation of the execution of a mortgage or a deed in trust and a promissory note. This form clearly refers to the MERS Corp Holding Inc. and its electronic agent, yet MERS Corp Holding Inc. is never shown on any original note and mortgage or the deed of the trust that is executed by the homeowner. What a bunch of shit.
Oh, just wait till you read the contract. You're going to love it. And you guys don't fill this thing out. Okay, this is your contract. This is what they fill out behind your back. After you sign that mortgage loan, it gives them access to fill out this beautiful little contract, literally with the company. So it's them and the company and has nothing to do with you, but they use you as the slave to get the interest to pay on their securitized bonds that they sell to the public. Okay, so every month they have to pay a certain amount of money on these bonds. Well, because they're securitizing all the loans, they don't have the money. That's what your interest does. You send in that interest, and they take that money and now they diversify it out to everybody that bought a bond.
Whoa, this is crazy. So basically,
read some
what
of
you
this
have,
contract.
yeah,
This
what
is
you
insanity. This is totally insanity. Everybody needs to understand this warehouse agreement through mayors. And I downloaded it online. I just brought up the name and boom, I found it.
The definition is capitalized. Terms used in this agreement shall have the meaning ascribed to them below. And then they give you all the definitions there. But what you actually agreed to is not part of the loan.
Exactly.
Whoa.
And
And
look
that,
at all those wonderful definitions. Where is
yeah,
the word borrower? Borrower does not appear. Only homeowner appears. And in this contract, it's called spell wording. They spell word this contract. So basically, what this contract is saying is, you as the borrower, you're actually lending your home to them. The borrower lends their home to the lender. Okay, so why do we have a lender? because you're lending your home to them so they can have a line of credit in their bank system so they can loan, because banks cannot loan money. Banks cannot loan their own money. Seriously, a bank cannot loan money. So basically, what are they loaning? They're loaning these bonds and the security program based on what they're going to charge you for interest. It's not you to pay the interest on this, it's them. But they have reworded the contract and turned everything around so badly. In your mind, you took that money. You never took a dime. Show me the money. Show me where that money is. They never produce a dime. They only produce paperwork.
Again, another way of them, like you said, think mirror on all of this stuff. A swindle is the first word that comes to my mind.
Yep.
Okay, so we go on. Did you want me to talk about, let's see this page here, the notice of default?
Yeah, you guys can download these contracts. Seriously, they're so easy to find. Just put in, the information. Just put it in and it just pops up. It's like the first thing that pops up. And it's a PDF file. Click on it and download it. And then start going through these contracts. Start going through these applications. Basically, I just typed in form 1003, and that's how I found the form. They've electronic, how do you say it? Electronic. They put it electronically now. So you guys have to go online to fill it out.
The portals.
But you can literally say, no, I want a paper copy. I want to fill this out and I want to make a copy for myself.
Yeah, because they do, I just went through this and they will show you all this stuff. And do you think while you're packing your house and you're doing everything else and you're trying to get a loan or whatever it is that you're trying to do, they know that not the average person is not going to go through and read this. So this is the best advice that I ever heard. Get it ahead of time and know what your what it says and cross out a lot of the stuff. So this particular.
What the key to this document is, and the key to all loans and proving fraud, is demand your lender give you the copy of this document. Because go down to the bottom and look how it's signed, guys. Go all the way down.
Oh, just drag it?
Well, no, you can't go all the way, but you can go down to the bottom of this contract. Okay. Right there, stop. What is the first thing? By borrower. Did you sign this contract? Hell no, you didn't. Get a copy of this contract from your lender, guys. Demand this contract. Okay, every state, you cannot use FOIA. You're going to have to use the Sunshine Act. Every state has the Sunshine Act. You are literally going to have to write a letter to your lender under the Sunshine Act and ask for this agreement. Ask for this warehouse agreement. You did not sign it, but it was created after you signed that loan. Because when you signed that document, it gave them permission to create this document. Because in your document, it says you will agree to have mayors as the nominee. When you agreed to that and you signed the loan document, now they have the option to create this document. You signed the application. That gave them the option to create your account under mayors, under the MIN number. Now you sign the other document. Now they create this account.
Okay. All right. So let's
So look at how many times borrower comes up. Look at this. All these signatures. They signed this whole contract. Now, this is all mayor's signatures. Who's involved in mayors? And then the lender gets to put all these names in here. And it says the borrower can put names in, but you don't have the option because you don't know about this.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Take a good look, Janine. Take a really good look. And you
Well,
get
and
on.
now that you explain it, and I'm seeing this, and then these are blank, and it's list of authorized persons, but you're signing this. I'm sure this is still.
Well, the authorized persons are going to be coming up next. And that's where the fraud is. Okay. This is all part of the fraud. This is leading up to the major fraud. This is how the fraud is coming about. All right.
They even give you a procedure manual.
Yes. And then look at these documents. These are part of the contract. These are all part of the contract.
So okay, so this person Sharon must be the person that is lending this to these MERS, right? But then
no, she's mirrors. She's mirrors themselves.
Oh,
she is part of it. Okay, this is the person you have to write to. You have the number on your contract. You have that 18-digit number on your contract. You have to send a letter to these people at this address, and you have to say, under the Truth and Lending Act, you can use FOIA and you can use your state Truth and Lending Act together to demand they produce a copy of this damn document and give it to you. Whoa. This document will close them down because you are not filling it out. But in this contract, it says by buyer. So who signed your name? Who signed it?
And that's what you started out with, is that you found multiple signatures. Different...
Oh, no, that's somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
That's somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in this section.
Okay. So we're going to move into the foreclosure fraud and how they get away with it. Do you want to take a breath here?
It's up to you. I mean,
all right, everybody, hang in there. We're 1 hour into it, and we've got more to get into because there's a lot of people out there that are probably have gone through this and want to understand it or are about to go through this. And
so we'll have about the last half an hour, 40 minutes to answer all their questions. Okay. So basically, this is telling you what courts do and what is happening. So in the county, I can just summarize this so you don't have to read it all. In the county recorder system, in the county recorder's office, when you sign the loan document, the lender has got to make a copy of the document and file it with the county recorder's office inside the county recorder's office. So Janine has just purchased her home. So Janine can go into her state county recorder's office and she can pull up her, last name first, all in capital letters, and her name, all in capital letters. And it depends on your county recorder's office. Sometimes it's just by name, sometimes it's by your tax ID number, and sometimes it's by your address. So however you need to do it, you pull it up, and then it'll list the documents under your name. And there's usually a little tab that's, like a link. You click on that little link tab, and then it'll come up with a second page. And then over on the right-hand side, it'll tell you how many pages it is. And it has like a little box over it. You just click on that, and then it gives you the PDF file. And then there's a link you can download the PDF file so you can read the document and you can see what's in the document. And this is what I do for all these cases. I go in and I find all the documents listed in the county recorder's office. So you'll have your warranty deed. The warranty deed is the transfer of the property from the old owner of the property to Janine. And usually they say for $10. Then I don't know if you signed a mortgage or you signed a deed of trust.
For me, it was a deed of trust.
Okay, so now we got to be careful with you for the deed of trust and these stupid trustees. All right, so we got to get this paperwork for you so you can find the fraud, so you can get out of this mess. Because, these deeds of trust, they literally can go in behind your back and foreclose on your home because you're in a non-judicial state. Yeah.
So here that you have that you said up to 1 TP 15. What is TP? Or is that up to 15 other documents?
Oh, you can have up. Yeah, okay. So usually what it means is basically when I do my searches, I can find anywhere from 1 to 15 other documents with the same signatures on them.
Okay.
So basically, I'm just telling you guys how to do the search, and it's exactly what I explained earlier. You put in the person who signed the document's name, like Christine Bennett, you put her name in and say that the person on the contract, the assignment contract, was Quality Loan Servicing. So you put in Christine Bennett space Quality Loan Servicing, you hit enter, and boom, it brings it up. So these are the assignment deeds. So this is what I bring up. So these are assigning the loans from one place to another. It's transferring trustees from one place to another. It's transferring lenders from one place to another. So these are all for one person's signature, okay? Different people wrote these contracts. A lot of times you'll find out it's from one company. Sometimes you'll find out it's from 2 companies. Sometimes you find out it's from 3 companies. You'll find them in one state, or you'll find them in 2 to 4 other states. So they're all over the board. It's not just one place. But if you look at the signature here, I think their last name is Hicks. Hicks is on this one. Am I correct?
Yeah, right. That's correct.
Yeah. So Hicks signed all these documents. Now scroll down to see the next one that Hicks signed. And look at the signature.
Completely different.
Yeah. All right. Now you're going to find out that some of these signatures are stamps. That signature on that document or this document matches the other document. It's a stamp. It's a rubber stamp.
Oh, yeah.
That signature matches another signature. You go down and you'll find a different rubber stamp that'll match your first document signature.
You know, this is going to bring me to the question, when they send you to a portal to fill out the paperwork, you are not signing it. You are doing an electronic signature that they say pick one, right? They have like one that's in cursive or one that's not, so it's not even your real signature that they are using in these electronic documents at all.
No, because the electronic documents are easier to transpose from one to another. These signature documents, these assignments like this that have to be done, these have to be written out and these have to be handed in. All right. So literally you are supposed to have a wet ink signature on all these documents. So, notaries cannot just use a notary. Notaries have to stamp these documents, guys. Every single one of these assignments has got to be notarized and stamped. And that person who notarized that document is swearing that person, Hicks, sat right there in front of them, gave them their ID, and watched them sign that document. It never happened. Never happened. Because literally, I will find these notary signatures that you see this one, and then you'll see that same notary name, and the signature is completely different. These documents are so fraudulent. It's disgusting. See the signatures?
Yeah, I sure do. And then they tell you to go and get things that are notarized, and you've got to pay for that. Oh my God, it's so sick to my stomach right now.
This is how you fight the fraud, you guys. Get these documents. Find all of them online. As you can see, all I did was go online and search. And these were all in different county recorder's offices. Now you go to your county recorder's office and you demand removal of these documents because they're fraud. And every state has a statute that says you cannot file a fraudulent document in your county recorder's office. So if all these documents are fraudulently filed in your county recorder's office, it allows these attorneys to go into the county
Yep.
recorder's office and download this stuff free of charge, go to a courtroom, file it in a courtroom, say, these are my evidence. These are why I can close down on this home and I can foreclose on you. If you don't challenge those signatures by doing some research and finding other documents signed by the signature, you're going to lose, you guys. You are going to lose.
All right.
You know how many court cases I've read that all challenge the same exact thing. You get a lawyer, and all a lawyer wants to do is challenge one thing or two things. He will never, ever, ever go into the verity of that document and literally download or challenge those signatures.
Okay. We went through 48 pages of this particular document. You guys can get this. This is great stuff. Play it back again at another time. Go back in there if you guys are, really want to take control. This is how you have to do it. Any questions out there? I start off a couple of them that I have right now. Here's a statement here. It says, if it was an electronic signature with a notary, it must have a specific electronic notary form recorded with it. And it's only allowed in certain states. This person is saying they do mortgages and they know it's allowed.
Okay, but none of these documents that are filed in the county recorder's office that I have pulled up so far have a possibility to do an electronic notary signature on them. None of them.
Okay. Ronnie is asking, is there something we have to do after the home is paid off? And I think that is what you were saying. You have forms to go into the deeds, the recorded.
No, that was Gina. Gina was going to go into that. It wasn't me. Gina was supposed to go into getting your land title after your home's paid off.
Okay. Yeah,
I haven't done that.
Gina didn't show, but I did send out the links a couple of times, but that's okay. We could pick it up another time. This is great that we went over the first part of it. Then we'll pick up the second part. Dawn said she is correct. So yes. Let's see. There is a couple of other ones that I start off here. Let me just see what they are. This coffee and AM is saying that what is the doc that we need to FOIA for you?
Oh, it's the last document. It's called the mayor's agreement warehouse document.
Oh,
but, yeah. You can put that document up here on your channel and allow everybody to download it.
Okay, I will do that. I'll put it out right now.
So basically, these documents are showing you the proof of the fraud that's in your county recorder's office. So once you start finding all this fraud, and then you start looking into foreclosures in your area, and look at who's foreclosing against you, and look at how many other people they're foreclosing against. And what we're doing in Arizona is we are building a massive foreclosure database for what's happening in Arizona. And we're trying to get as many documents as we possibly can. And we're thinking about building some sort of a website that gives all these people's names that we call robo-signers. Robo-signers are people who just sit there for $10 an hour with stacks of documents onto their side, have no idea what they're doing, and just scribbling their name on these documents and sending them off somewhere else. And either somebody else is scribbling their notary's name, or the notary is just, stamping them and sending them off. We don't know what happens to these documents. Okay. So basically, they're all getting filed. However they're doing it, they're getting filed into these recorders' offices, which is fraud. It's utter fraud. And once you identify the fraud, then you can find out from your court dockets who is the judge that literally did this. And do you have the same judge? Then go pull some of the documents of his previous foreclosures and the fraud in his previous foreclosures who deal with the same company you're working with, who's coming against you, the law firm, and then point it out to the judge and the lawyer. Look, you have gotten away with this for so long. You are a fraud. Look at all these documents that I have pulled out of the county recorder's office that are not even legal documents. And you, Your Honor, have literally allowed this to happen because nobody challenges the signatures. Everybody just challenges the note.
An interesting point. Dawn is also making another statement here. Need to print a satisfaction of a mortgage and get certified copies from the courthouse for a fully paid mortgage. I think that was answering somebody else's, Ronnie's previous question. Ronnie wants to know, Ronnie, just so you know, I put these documents out on Turn the Page. And Ronnie, you're a moderator. You could take them and share them with whomever that you want to out there that needs it. And let's see here. What else do we have? Julie is asking, if you are currently paying a mortgage, is there any need to challenge this?
Yeah, because you guys are actually paying the interest that the lender should be paying for the securitization of your loan. Because remember, you allowed them to borrow your home.
Yeah.
The borrower is the person that they allowed to borrow their home and their property.
Okay, we're going to break this down a little bit more one more time because what you said made sense and then you threw in the borrower. So if I have a mortgage and I agree to this for them to allow to borrow from me, and I've got this current mortgage with them, what is it that I have to, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to the court? I'm going to get the documents. Am I going to, and you're saying I should challenge it at this point?
All right. Okay. So basically, that agreement, that the third thing I showed you guys, that warehouse agreement, you have to get a copy of it. That is mandatory for what you want to do. Mandatory. Okay. So the names are on there. The address is on there. You have to send a FOIA request with the number that's on your contract, the MIN number, so they know what their mayor's number is in the database, and ask for the copy of the warehouse agreement and find out who signed as borrower. Not that one. It's way down.
Oh, it is? I thought it was that one.
The third one. No, that's your mortgage contract.
All right.
Then you have your loan application, which is that. And then you have the mayor's contract. That's your loan application. Go ahead. Then you come down and right after that, go a little bit further, a little bit more. Right there. That's what you need.
Okay.
You need to FOIA it.
Okay. So this is electronic tracking agreement warehouse lender. God, that verbiage is just makes no sense to me if I was buying a house. It really doesn't. So they put it in the verbiage that they know what they're conning on. Yeah, bunch of gangsters here.
Okay, so at the end of this, where I highlighted the person's name, you send the request to them. There's other names in the mayor's database or in the mayor's signature who are the authorized signatures on this contract. Yeah, it's quite a long contract, so you might want to go down a little bit. Yeah, keep going, a little bit more. Okay, write down the next, no, that's their page. Now this is their page. Nope, you missed it. You went past it. Okay, hang on. Okay, go down one more page down. Okay, right there. There's two names right on this contract. There's the addresses on this contract. These are where you send the FOIA request to. It's either FOIA or Sunshine. Do it under both. At the head of your paper, when it says RE, put down Sunshine and FOIA request. Put down the two laws of your state and the law of the federal. And write a FOIA request and demand a copy of this agreement. You want to see, and your MIN number has got to be on there. You want to see, go up one page. You want to see who signed this page. You definitely want to see who signed this page, because if you look on this page, it says borrower. And then underneath borrower, it says lender. So who signed those two names? You never signed this contract. You have no idea this contract even exists until I told you about it.
Son of a bitch. I hear my grandparents in my head right now, you know, the Italian descent. That's what exactly they would say. Oh my God.
Yep. So this is where it is, guys. Get this contract. Even if you're still paying on the mortgage, once you get that, then what you can do is give that back to your lender and tell your lender, discharge my home now.
You tell them to discharge the home?
Discharge the loan.
Discharge the loan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
you want the whole loan discharged.
Yeah, they got us. They got us good. But Ann is waking us up legit. You know, this is what they said. They got us good, Janine. Let me come back to this and here we go. All right, this is such mind blowing all the time, Ann. You are always waking us up. We always know that these contracts, you know, like I said, I came from Illinois. We always had a lawyer. When I moved south, I was in Arkansas. They said, oh, you don't need a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer. And now that I'm in the Florida area, the same thing. You don't need a lawyer. So basically, it doesn't matter whether or not you have one at this point.
It doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. If you end up in a foreclosure and you hire a lawyer, all you're doing is paying that lawyer anywhere from $5,000 to maybe $15,000, $20,000 to allow that lawyer to lose your home, get your home taken away from you. And all he's doing is litigating with the other guy behind your back, saying, okay, well, what should I do next? My client wants this. Well, don't allow your client to do that. Try to get him to do this. Okay, just write your paper like this so I can answer it like that. You guys, you think this thing doesn't go on behind the scenes? Every one of these damn lawyers knows each other. Oh. I mean, seriously.
Well, you're right, because if you think about it, they were taught by the cabal, right? The deep state. And no matter what type of lawyer, whether you want to call them a real estate or whatever type of lawyers that they are out there, none of them are working for us. They never have.
Nope, because literally one of the guys I was helping, we got to the point in his child custody case that his wife was using the court, as a tool to stop him from seeing his son. And we got to the point where he couldn't defend himself any longer. So he went to find a lawyer. And when he took all the information to get the lawyer, you know what the first lawyer says? Oh, well, yeah, I know him very well. He's so-and-so and so-and-so. Oh, well, he's a good guy. Well, oh, yeah, I do know the judge. I've had lunch with him several times. You know, things like this, guys, wake up.
Oh, yeah.
It's all a conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, I had one lawyer, I had to go to court for something, and he said something to me behind the doors. And so when I went to court, I repeated what he said, totally threw everything. And he looked at me and he says, you weren't supposed to say that. And I said, it made sense to me when you said it to me. So why would I repeat it back to the judge or whatever was going on? So they kind of knew that I was onto something, and I won it. Whatever the case was, I won it. So, you know, these lawyers, you're right. They're smart. They stick together, and My gosh,
You think they
they're
don't
worse.
have lunch with one another?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Okay, let's go back to Arizona, this foreclosure case in Arizona. All right. I didn't have time to help the guy at first. And we only had a few days before they were supposed to do some sort of a foreclosure sale on his home. I made him run to court and file a bankruptcy. Okay, that stopped the sale. All right. Now, when I get back, now I start looking at the documents. And when I'm starting to look at the documents, they went ahead and foreclosed on his home anyhow. And they did another foreclosure sale. Then next thing I know, he's got this eviction notice on his door, trying to evict him. So I go into the court system and I see what these eviction things say. And it says, oh, you have the right to answer, put in your answer to the court. So I'm saying, oh, this ought to be fun. Aunt can do this, So Aunt types up this wonderful answer and puts every piece of fraud that Anne found into this answer and sends it off to the court. The day of the eviction hearing, the judge is so shocked and so baffled with all this paperwork. And mind you, this law firm has gotten away with this for eons and eons, evicting people out of their home under foreclosures. That's their specialty. They got challenged. We got the case dismissed. And the judge says to them, did you just file an eviction on a foreclosure in my court? And they said, yeah, we always do. And you always grant it. He says, well, guess what? It has to be filed in federal court. I'm not going to grant it this time.
Yeah. Yeah. When you pull the trump card on them, right?
Uh-huh.
And I've got this question, and I don't know, it might sound silly to you, but a lot of people have lost their homes because of this evil doing. Is there any moving forward? Is that case closed? It's a done deal. They can't.
No. If they can prove the fraud, even though they've lost their home, just check statutes of limitations on fraud in your state. If it's within, I think, 5 years, okay, and it's under statutes of limitations of fraud, you can demand that court case be reopened and submit all the fraud, or you can actually file a lawsuit, which is called a complaint against them, and bring forth the fraud and demand your home back.
Okay, I've got one other question out on Rumble. It's coming from Mojo Mama One. I sound like a DJ, don't I? He or she, I don't know, says, so what do I do if I have a reverse mortgage that I'm getting monthly money for to help me?
Oh, you are going to be sorry on the end of that one. Really sorry. Literally, you need to get that mortgage dead, and because I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, seriously, that is got to be the worst.
Reverse mortgages are the worst.
Uh-huh.
You've got all these actors that, you know what I'm saying, from Hollywood. They're out there saying, oh, I do reverse mortgage. And I think one of them that I liked is a guy with Tom Selleck, with the guy with the mustache. I think he's been pushing that. And I thought he was one of the goodies, not the baddies.
Guys, what is a reverse mortgage? They're taking all of your equity in your home, and they're stripping it out of your home. And on top of it, every time they strip out that equity and they send you money, they put an enormous 8 to 9% interest on the back end of your loan. So by the time the reverse mortgage comes through and everything you owe, you're not going to get a dime out of that home. They're just going to walk in and take it away from you. And another thing in foreclosure, guys, they do a zero balance. So you have a ledger of the credit on the public, on the private, and you have the debt on the public. So what do? The books always have to balance. So when they foreclose on your home, they zero out their account absolutely to nothing. Zero it out. They get rid of their liability because they're the ones liable, and they move it over to you. And now, after that foreclosure, you're going to get a wonderful 1099. And that 1099, you're going to pay 36.5% tax on however much they sold your home for.
Oh, shit.
And you know how they calculate that money? They take what your home value is and times it by 0.75. And that gives them what their foreclosed amount is they want to claim on your home. So if you had a $200,000 or $100,000 home, and they times it by 0.075, they're going to come up with like 128,000, 127,000 owing to them. That's principal, interest, late charges. That's what they're going to say. So when they sell your home, if they sell it for that much money, then what they're going to do is they'll take the 127,000 and balance the books again with it. But at the same time, you're going to get a 1099 OID so something like that. And it's going to give the whole value of your home, and you're going to owe 36.5% on that. So basically, your home, the price they're selling it for minus your home value equals to 36.5%, and you're responsible for that tax because they call it capital gain.
Nobody do a reverse mortgage. Don't listen to television. It's lie-o-vision. It's all a racket. It is totally a racket. And I've always thought about that, because people get to the point they've got the equity in their home, they're retired, they don't work anymore, they ran out of money, and now they hear these commercials. Reverse mortgage is good. It's good for someone, but not for you.
It's elder abuse.
Oh,
it is literally elder abuse.
Yeah.
I've got a case in Illinois where I have
I'm gonna walk away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, I have a case in Illinois where I have a man who literally went to Vietnam, and he fought in the Vietnam War, and he bought his home in 1976 when he got back. And they literally have been just pushing him with all these fake mortgages. Well, he has no idea what he's even doing signing these things. He has dementia, and he has been bedridden for at least 12 years. And in those 12 years, his wife has been in another convalescent hospital because she had some sort of degenerate arthritis or bone disease or something like that. She couldn't walk. And these companies are predators. All they do is call them, and they have no idea from the medication they're on what they're even saying, and they're called predatory lenders. So anybody who calls you for reverse mortgages or to clump all of your bills into your mortgage payment, you can't do that. It's illegal for a company to take all unsecured debt, credit cards, car loans, things like this is called unsecured debt, and move it into your mortgage and pay those bills off with your home. It's illegal to do that.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. What else do we have here? I'm just seeing, people are just, you're waking everybody up on this here. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it, because I know that these things that always seem so complicated when they've got tons of forms and they're pushing it through and they're sign this, sign this, sign this, sign this. and people don't question things. I read some things, and then I don't understand the jargon that they have in there, and I'm like, well, what does this mean? And they give you their version of it, but they don't tell you everything. Even if you were
Mm-mm.
to ask the questions of these people, this is such bullshit. So let's see, any other questions? Did I miss any questions while I stepped away? Yeah, that is unbelievable how you explain what the reverse mortgage, the percentage. Uh, so you don't lend it to them once, you lend it to them, it sounds like 3 times.
Exactly.
All right.
And then on
Oh,
top of it,
here's
the
somebody
interest
else
rate,
here.
and then yeah, go ahead.
Dawn says she's got to run, but please give Anne my email. I'd be happy to help her for free. Anne, are you looking for people to help you?
Oh my God, we're trying to put together teams in every single state that will literally go and help these foreclosed cases, foreclosure cases that will teach people, we need teams to build this database, to find the fraud around the world. And then on top of it, once we get the fraud, we can send it up to TIGA, the Treasury Inspector General, and we can send these cases up to him, and he can walk into these companies. Like I have a company in California that is in 7 states called Quality Loan Servicing. And seriously, they file probably 300 to 400 foreclosures per month. I mean, sometimes they file 30 per day. And they just have people there just signing these documents, signing them. And all they do is have somebody else who just files them electronically in all these county recorders' offices.
Oh my God. They're gangsters. That's all that I could say.
Guys, realize I'll let you in on this secret. Why are they doing this? Because they're caught. Because the central banking system is dead. Because nobody in the world will touch a US dollar any longer because it's a debt fiat currency. The world is going to gold. And come Monday, the 17th at 5:30, if you do geometry, a new beginning, all banks and 209 countries are turning on the gold system. So in order to get rid of this cabal money, they have to launder it somewhere. Where can they launder it? In property, because they can take all this fake money and bring it out of some vault that they're holding it in. Because you guys got to realize these foreclosures, they're paying for them in cash, not checks, cash. Okay, they're laundering money.
Yeah, of course, that we all know that they are laundering. It's they're infiltrating within, and there it's also the land. Anything that has value to it, because they can't get the dollars, not worth anything. This is crazy. So now that you guys
basically what they're doing is what they're doing in Arizona is a piece of property will be on the market for $124,000. They'll literally come in and pay $360,000 for that home. They'll literally pay double the price to take that home, because what they're trying to do is push the market up in certain areas. And this is one way they're doing it. And then the excess, this is what even is more mind-blowing than I've ever figured out. Okay, I just figured this one out last night. If you have a home that sold for they sold it, it was on the market for $125,000. They sold it for $250,000. There's $125,000 called excess. Guess where that excess goes? To the treasurer of your state. The Secretary of Treasury gets the excess. Well, guess what they do with that excess money, guys? The city councils will vote on the excess money in the account to spend it the way they want. I found the documents in Texas explaining that.
Wow. There is so much stuff here, and I appreciate all of your information, and I hope everyone will play this over and over again if you need to. But if you are looking for money, and I'm just going to throw this in here, there was $200,000 on the Oregon Highway. A man threw out tonight to bless others. So there's crazy people out there, and it just happened today. So if you're in Oregon, I'm sure you heard the news. Vehicle stopped on a busy Oregon driver. So, anyways, the driver basically took about $200,000. I think his family's looking for the money, you guys.
Guys, also, we are going to be turning in all that fiat currency. So they cannot turn it in. So basically, we're going to catch the rest of these thieves when it comes time and the gold system's turned on, and they, start cleaning out their vaults of hundreds of thousands and, millions of dollars in cash, and they take it to the bank to turn it over to the gold currency. Guess what? It's all going to be toilet paper. The banks are only allowed to give them $5,000.
And hopefully it's used toilet paper. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely. Colleen, go back and listen to this, because I know everybody out there that is watching this does have a mortgage, and there's so much information. And you went from the bonds, right? Now
Right.
you're into the mortgages. I'm sure you're
Well, I
headed.
went from bonds to trust to court cases, now mortgages.
Insurance is on the agenda.
Oh, no, I already did insurances with Bonds for the Win.
Okay.
I already showed all the insurance fraud with Bonds for the Win. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And let's see here. I appreciate everything that you have done. And I guess people are saying watch Ann's trust video. So you've got some followers on here. Cindy.
Oh yeah, there's 19 trust videos on YouTube under the Fearless Floyd Show.
Okay, and I think that was up there. Ronnie posted that. Here it is. That's my Ronnie. She's right on the ball here. So this is Ann's Telegram, the Fearless Floyd Show, and then somebody said that this was so much information. It's time to take a puff and pass it around.
Guys, we need to bond together. Seriously, bond together in all these states and start forming groups. I'm hoping that this video is going to go viral, and other, influencers are going to see what I'm talking about and invite me onto their, platforms, that I can put this out, because literally they're not going to stop this mortgage fraud. They're not going to come in and do anything. It's us to have to do it. This is what the Great Awakening is. We need to wake up, see what they've done, and go after them to stop it. Nobody is going to come in and save us. If we want to do it, we have to do it ourselves. And that means everybody has to forgive everybody else for all this mess, not what they're doing, but come together, no matter what your race, color, or religion is. It doesn't matter. We're all one race, okay? And we all have to bond together as one race under God, under the creator of this world, and fight this evil.
Yeah, definitely. That's with everything, though. It's all up to us. And I've been saying this just about every show. It is all up to us. But I don't want to leave Mojo Mama hanging here over on Rumble, because she's now saying that she's really concerned. She said no one has contacted her yet about her foreclosure. Let's see here what else she says. So how do I know if my company will mess with me?
Literally, if nobody's contacted her, the more reason for going into newspapers. They have to put this in newspapers. They don't tell you this because nobody reads a newspaper, guys. Who in the world goes in and finds newspapers? Literally, you're going to have to search, foreclosure, your address, and see if it would bring up an online newspaper or a classified ad in a newspaper somewhere in your area that will literally tell you your house is being foreclosed on. Not only that, you need to go into the county recorder's office and start pulling out every single document about your home. And inside there, they should have a paper called intent to foreclose or something like that.
Yeah, so you guys, I mean, if you do have concerns, I definitely recommend that you start going down your own rabbit hole and getting the information. And it's only up to you. Once you do this, you're going to help a lot of other people. You're going to help yourself and save your home. So there you go. This Peter Dean is saying, see you next week. Trust 201. See you there. Tell us a little bit about your classes, Ann.
Oh, okay. So I have 5 different classes that I've created with Floyd. We have Trust 101. Trust 101 is my beginning trust class where I teach you how to write a revocable living trust, and I teach you how to create the banking documents that go with the trust. So this will get you started into getting out of the public and into the private. I call this trust the gateway or the expressway from the public to the private because we use it both ways. It goes public to private, private to public. So we need to pull all of our assets and everything we're doing out of the public sector and work in the private sector. This will stop a lot of this fraud. So in class 201 is my deeds class, and it tells you how to fund your trust. And it explains how we're going to use different types of deeds, different kind of contracts, how we're going to fund the trust. And it also will tell us how that we will be able to, do our trust letters that literally can take our paychecks and put them in our non-interest bearing checking accounts. Guys, non-interest bearing. Interest bearing means that we are accepting benefits from the government, and that leaves us strapped on their agenda. So we want to get out of their agenda. We do not want an interest-bearing account anywhere, and we do not want a public bank account. Okay, we always want a private bank account with a trust, and we want it as a non-interest banking account, non-interest-bearing account. So then 301 literally deals with mortgages, okay? And it's a whole scenario about, I lay it out. There's tons of documents in there. There's all kinds of stuff that will help you get in and fight these mortgage frauds. And 401 goes into a irrevocable trust. And I explain all about what a revocable is and an irrevocable trust is. And then I have what we call a VCR class, which is voucher coupon recovery. And I teach you how to use your coupons, which are notes, which are literally can be turned into a note to pay your everyday bills for your home. So there's my series of classes. So we do run specials from time to time where you can get into all 5 classes, for one price. Class 201, 301, 401 is $149. 101 is $199 because it's a 2-day course. It's a 2 days course, and there's it has a trust book that goes with it that gives you all your trust documents. All classes come with a video, to the documents that I show you on the class. Plus, it comes with all the instructions, and we have private Telegram groups set up that you guys will join. And literally, we have people in the groups that have been through this that help everybody who's new coming in.
Fantastic. This was mind-blowing as usual. This is always good information, and you guys are more awake, and hopefully you will do something if you feel to. So I guess if I could sum this all up, if the DS is short on money, they're going to go after real estate, and real estate is their best bet, and they're going to trip up people who are elderly, right? Or people who
elderly and of color, because they literally stalk on people of color because they say they're not intelligent. Okay. So this is why that race and ethic thing is on your document, guys.
This is
You
such
know,
bullshit. It just pisses me off. It really does.
I mean, seriously, I did a round table with Floyd and two other people and a lady from Alabama, and she literally just came out and said every foreclosure that goes through her, the county recorder, is of color, basically of color.
Mhm.
And she basically came right out and said it.
I
Right
remember you
on,
said that on
right
on the
on.
last show. Yeah. And
Yeah.
this is crazy. So well, thank you so much. I don't have any other questions. I don't think I see anyone else. That lady, what's her name? Mojo Mama One. Please look into this. And if she has more questions, could she email you?
Yeah, you can give out my email. Now, let me tell you guys, I get hit up so much that it could take me 2, 3, or 4 days to get back to people.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I am bombed right now. I'm literally looking for a team because literally I'm downloading 5,000 documents from 1 year of foreclosures in Arizona in Maricopa County only. And we have to separate them out by who filed them. And then we have to go into every account and we have to see who signed all the documents. We have to prove fraud, and we have to bring up this fraud
Mhm.
because the guy who won the foreclosure case or the eviction case, literally the company who foreclosed on his house is now suing the Secretary of State of Arizona for the remainder of the money they oversold his house for, 175,000. And he's named in the lawsuit. He's named as one of the people in the lawsuit. So we're supplying the Secretary of Treasury and the AG with all the fraud, and we're just going to sit back and see what they do, because we've
Yeah.
already filed 3 lawsuits against all these companies. We got 3 lawsuits in court pending, 3
Wow.
different types of lawsuits pending. Yeah.
This is fantastic. Anybody out there, please, I'm asking you to get involved. Sam, having a roof over someone's head is so important. Look at the streets of San Francisco. Look what they've done to the people. They've taken so many homes. And if you guys are listening to this and you're feeling the calling is to, number one, get with Ann to help her, and she'll guide you. Do what you need to do to help humanity at this time. And this is the best way that I could think of for her spending 2 hours with us, and she needs the help. So yeah, this is unbelievable. This is great information.
You guys also realize when these poor people get their homes foreclosed on, what is the state done now? All renters have to go through a application where they check their credit application. Well,
Yeah.
when they see a foreclosure on the credit application, do you think they're going to rent them a home? No, these foreclosed people do not have homes to live in. They're not going to get a home to live in because of their credit rating, because of what they've done to them.
Hmm.
So guys, think about it.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I've been on these attorneys' websites that do foreclosures, and they are so proud of themselves. They literally have states, 5 or 6 states listed on their website, and they have a PDF document. Download the PDF document if you'd like to buy a foreclosed home. And they're 8 to 10 pages, over thousands of homes on every document.
Yeah, that tells you something right there too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sad. It's so sad.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna close it out. We hit the 2 hour mark. I appreciate it, and you're
Sure.
more than welcome. Open invitation to come back anytime that you want. I know that you said you had a bunch of information. You're just working so hard at this, and can anybody contribute money to you for your funds for anything like that? I know that you don't even get paid for doing this. Is this correct?
Oh, that's correct. That's correct. I don't. No.
And so do you have like a cash app or something like that or
No,
anything?
I live in French Polynesia, Tahiti, and none of that stuff works for me. The only thing that works is a long time ago when I was taking care of my father, I set up a PayPal account in the States, and that's the only way I can get money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's PayPal. Do you have a PayPal? Do you want to announce it or no?
My PayPal is pohere1958 @gmail.com. So pohere is Tahitian for the beautiful pearl, and it's spelled Poe 1958 @gmail.com.
I should have had that. Yeah, I wish I would have had that up there already. Shoot. You're so modest. You don't even, nobody, everyone thinks that, I don't know what they think, but they need to know that you're doing this from the kindness of your heart, your time, everything, how much you are helping humanity. And please, people, if you have the time and the knowledge, you've got the background. If you are in the mortgage company and you're retired and is looking for it, you probably know those contracts inside and out.
I think I know them probably better than they do anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ronnie, I don't know if Ronnie is still with us or not. Ronnie, did you happen to get that? I would put it up on the screen what her PayPal is. Maybe not. I think she already left. Okay. Well, thank you. I will make sure that I will put this in the, I think I know I have it, so I'll put it out there. Anybody that's seeing it later on. Thank you so much, Anne.
I mean, you guys, basically, I would love to give Janine some of this, documentation and have her distributed out to you guys to help you guys. I still haven't, written the books or formatted anything, but if you come to some of the classes that I teach, they go for 149, but normally we have 20% discount constantly. We just discount the classes. And basically it just pays for our 2 hours of time, and it pays for the recording and what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody, please give it to her. You know what? I'm going to, even after this and other shows, I'm going to continue to ask people to help you out here. And,
You're so sweet. I never ask anybody for help.
I know, I don't either. I just had this conversation with somebody. It's really hard for me to do it. But when you're working from your heart, people know it, and you're doing such a great job at what you're doing.
I just want to stop this, and I mean, when I just sit here and I'm just like, I'm just like, okay, calm. And I mean, I am overwhelmed sometimes at how much fraud I find. And then I'm like, where do I start?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, this mortgage stuff is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet it
seriously
is.
mind blowing.
Well, thank you again. We're gonna say goodnight to you here. I'm not even sure
Good
what time.
night. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
what time is it there by you?
Just 4 o'clock.
All right. Good night. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And
See
now
you
we
guys.
turn the page. Bye now.
Bye-bye.